Hello and welcome back to Political Predictions, and as you can tell by the title, this video is going to be about another crazy poll that just came out. This time it was from the University of New Hampshire Survey Center, and it shows Kamala Harris up by 5 points in Maine's 2nd Congressional District. 5 points in Maine's 2nd Congressional District, a state that used to be more Democratic, but has since shifted to be much more conservative than it was before. In 2020, it went to Donald Trump by 7.4%. In 2016, it went to Trump by 10.3%. And now in 2024, it is showing polls that show Kamala Harris up by 5 points in Maine's 2nd. That is a 12-point shift to the left. And it seems that there are just more and more polls that show Kamala Harris gaining momentum and Donald Trump losing it. And this is not just one or two polls. The same polling center did it just a few weeks ago, actually, and it showed Trump up by 2 to 4%. So this was during the prime of the honeymoon phase, right when Kamala Harris just got the nomination, right when Joe Biden just dropped out, when the novelty of Kamala Harris was still very strong, and she was only down by 2 to 4%. But now, even when all that's mostly gone, and even before the DNC, Kamala Harris is up by 5 points. So maybe the honeymoon phase isn't ending, but is actually getting stronger right now. So that is another possibility. We can see here that just a few months ago, in February even, this was before the debate, Joe Biden was down 20 points. 20 points in Maine's 2nd. That is a 25-point shift in just the span of a few months. 25% in a few months is insane in just one district. So would be absolutely crazy if Kamala Harris were to flip Maine's 2nd. And it's not just these polls in 538. On Polymarket, Maine's 2nd only has a 72% chance of going to Donald Trump, which again is a state that went to Donald Trump by 7 points in 2020, 10 points in 2016, so just 72% chance, which is on par with states like Georgia, just 10% more likely to go to Trump than Georgia is to go to Trump. That is just crazy. It shows that Maine's 2nd is much more competitive than what a lot of people are seeing. And a poll that shows Kamala's up by 1 or 2 points, that could be seen as a 50-50 or maybe an off poll. But this poll shows her up by 5%. 5% is not a close margin. 5% is a pretty solid margin for Kamala Harris. That is an insane shift to the left. And also, I don't think this will happen. Of course, I think this poll is very much an outlier. It is very unlikely that Kamala Harris does win Maine's 2nd, especially by 5%. But it is crazy to see that there are polls that are showing her up by 5%, which is a likely margin. That would mean that that Maine's 2nd votes further to the left than states like North Carolina, Georgia, Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. That would mean that Maine's 2nd is not a swing state, not a right-leaning state. It is a left-leaning state, a 5% margin to the left. That is a stronger margin than Florida was in 2020. So Maine's 2nd could be much more competitive, or it could even be a left-leaning state in 2024, which would just be crazy. And this isn't some random terrible pollster. This pollster is actually pretty accurate. In 2020, as we can see, it's based out of New Hampshire. It did a poll in 2020 about a few weeks before the election, and it showed Biden up by 8. And what happened in 2020? Joe Biden won by 7.4. The poll was off by 0.6%. That is very accurate. That is well within the margin of error. And in 2024, a 5% margin is way out of the margin of error. That is a margin that is pretty solid for Kamala Harris. And if this poll is anywhere close to as accurate as it was in 2020 in New Hampshire, then this state or this district could go to Kamala Harris by a likely margin, which would just be crazy. So this would just be an absolutely insane election. If Kamala Harris were to flip Maine's 2nd, that would mean that she would probably flip states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. She would probably win all 7 of the core battleground states if Maine's 2nd were to go to Kamala Harris, because Maine's 2nd is a naturally more conservative district than these other states. And also, one reason why I don't think this is probably going to happen, I know I'm kind of contradicting myself. This is a crazy poll. I don't think it's going to happen, but I don't think Kamala Harris is going to win Maine's 2nd. But one reason for this is because if RFK drops out, this is filmed the day before you're seeing it. I don't know if he's dropped out when you're seeing this. But there's rumors that RFK could drop out and endorse Donald Trump. And right now, most polls are showing RFK helping Kamala Harris because he is taking more support from Donald Trump. However, of course, if he drops out and endorses Donald Trump will get a big boost. And you might be thinking, well, why does he get a big boost? You have made several videos about how RFK is plummeting in the polls and how he has only 2 to 3% in most of these polling averages. Well, it's because in Maine's 2nd, I believe Kennedy will do the best out of anywhere in the country in Maine second. Most polls are showing Maine second, or Kennedy is having the best support in Maine second, and this is because Maine is a very independent-minded state. Maine actually had the highest support for Ross Perot in both 1992 and 1996. It always consistently has very high third party support, and Maine second has consistently had the most third party support even out of Maine. So Maine second, I believe, would have the most support for RFK Jr. However, if he were to drop out and endorse Donald Trump, that would obviously help Donald Trump a lot, and I think that would contribute to Donald Trump winning. And I do think Donald Trump will probably win in Maine second, although this poll does show otherwise. So thank you all for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed. Sorry if I sound nasally or my voice sounds off. I have a cold right now, so that's why I might sound a little off. So thank you all for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.